Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really do appreciate it. Both me and my alter ego, the one that continues to age just ever so slightly, progressively, mind you, in real time, on camera. You feel me? I got like this hair going on like I'm some 45-year-old track star. Also, all while simultaneously maintaining the real life caricature of Speedy Gonzalez, minus the mustache. However, I recently did have a mustache, which was the craziest thing. And if you haven't seen that video, it's one of my shorts actually here on the page. But oh boy, do I look different with the mustache. Almost exactly like Speedy Gonzalez. I guess now that I'm aging, the whole hairline and everything too. Jesus Christ, Albert. Getting old sucks sometimes, and I continue to go through all of these changes. Like I said, in every very minute second in detail, all while on public record. So yay for me. Anyways, I hope that you guys are doing really good. You feel me? Like, obviously, I want to talk to you guys tonight about credit scores and my personal opinion on buy now, pay later services. Alright, so here it is, just to kind of give you guys a background of who I am, where I come from. I come from the same place you come from, my friend. I think, we all come from that place. Anyways, I won't go into too much detail, as to like the specifics of that joke. I'll let your mind wander. But that's where I come from, you feel me? I also have a mother, just very similar to you and all the other Homo sapiens watching this. Shout out to all my aliens, you feel me? Like the real life ETs that may be watching my show. I think that'd be awesome. You feel me? I think that'd be no better and greater compliment. Just because at that point, I have no idea what I'm talking about, It's not a real, this is like, where do you come from, man? Like, I'd really like to know. Anyways, that being said, I'm joking, but obviously, I come from a working middle class background, very privileged at some points in my life, and very abject poor at other times in my life, both as a young person, as an adult, as a younger adult. And so I've seen my fair share of how the world works financially, and how people that are cash rich, are not at all compared like wealthy to the people that have $50,000 credit card limits. I'm just saying that, like, what's the point of a stack of cash if like somebody's also got that same spending power, all in the convenience of their pockets, plus actual tangible assets that they obtain from the credit and so forth. And so I bring that up because as a Hispanic, you feel me, my parents being who they are and stuff, and me identifying in the ethnic and cultural and racial capacity that I do, it's just it was cash rich, you feel me? Like, in terms of being a successful local business person, my grandfather employed dozens of people throughout the course of his career, registered, licensed, insured, bonded, very pro-union guy, paid all of his taxes on time, that kind of an old school guy, like the kind of guy that employed dozens of people and successfully ran a small business in an up and coming industry for like, I don't know, like 50 years. 50 years or so. My grandpa put in work, making sure that he did what he could to help out his family and so forth, and us being the primary benefactors in that current situation. I mean, you couldn't tell from asking me though, because I've been painting since I was like 3 years old. And by painting, I mean like work painting. You feel me? Like residential, industrial, and commercial applicatory coatings on different kinds of surfaces. This is my knowledge in life from a very young person. Like, no cap. You feel me? Like, I've been painting for a long time, longer than I'd ever like to publicly admit. Just because even still at 37, I mean, I've probably painted like to a good 20 years. I have like 20 years of painting experience, and yet I hate painting, and that's just because it's hard work, man. Like, it's hard work, you feel me? Shout out to all my laborers and construction guys and carpenters, electricians, tradesmen, you feel me? That work is hard, and that's why they deserve to get paid what they do, because it's not easy. And just so much is that we want machines to, magically do things and all of the things for us that we don't want to do because it's so tedious. it's just something that it's just the human hand. It's a miraculous thing, you know. It can build some awesome stuff. It can do some really cool things. You feel me? And so yeah, that's my background, you know. And I say this again because like he successfully did all of those things, but even at the end of the day, you know, he didn't make it right. Like he didn't succeed because he didn't have lines of credit. He didn't have a credit score. Like, and even if he did and it was perfect, he never used it. So this is what I want to talk about: credit scores, right? And like credit cards and just credit in general. And that's because I come kind of from the opposite side. You feel me? Like, well, I may identify as like a conservative guy for whatever that means in like my values and stuff. I've also inherently understood that credit and credit card debt and how, like, these are all things that they matter and they don't. You know what I mean? And what do I mean when I say that? I mean that like I'm definitely certain, you know, no bag on my parents, but I'm definitely certain that they've, you know, also never had a perfect credit score. That's how fair I'll be with that. I myself, you know, not to throw anyone else out there without shamelessly admitting that, you know, currently my credit score is reflective of somebody that has done nothing with their life, is completely debt ridden, and has no potential perspectives in the future, you know? So this is, I'm not talking no smack, you feel me? And that's all that I'm saying is like, what sucks is that even if you don't have credit or access to credit, you somehow, as a poor person, end up with a bad credit score. So then you can't get credit. You know what I mean? And like, therein lies the problem with exploitation and systemic racism. You know, the good old United States of America. Shout out to Uncle Sam, you know, and his very just treatment of the entire population, regardless of race, color, ethnicity, or creed. You feel me? I'm just saying that, like, it's kind of bad, you know, when you consider the fact that, again, most of the people that have good credit scores also have access to credit and are probably in a substantial amount of debt. And unfortunately, for all of us poor people that know of not this experience, that is typically the way that the world works. And that is a very healthy way to live, I'd argue. Again, disclaimer, don't listen to anything that I say. I give the complete opposite advice of anybody with a normal, half-functioning, working brain. I'm in character here, you know, so I'm just saying that, like, I'm just saying, sorry, not sorry, but don't do what I do and don't say what I say, or don't say what I do, or, you know, that thing Iron Man says to Spider-Man. Anyways, that thing. So seriously, I just feel like it's not talked about enough, and the people that don't talk about it enough, again, are, it's a different world. You feel me? It's a different ballgame when you're a poor working person, and if you could be black working, you know, white, brown, it doesn't matter. But if you're financially poor, you feel me, you're always going to be stuck in the same sort of circle with like people telling you that, like, you know, I mean, these Credit Karma commercials telling you that you can get a perfect credit score, you know, in 6 to 8 months if you just do this, this, and this. I mean, the reality of the situation is that those people that have good credit scores, and, you know, moreover, the people that have perfect good, like, credit scores, like, their whole lives, they've worked toward this. Like, we're talking 4 or 5 decades here, ladies and gentlemen. They, them. This is not something that happened over the course of just a few months, you feel me? And it's not mathematically possible. It's just not the way credit works, you know? And it should work in a different kind of a way to be more supportive of other people. But, hey, all I'm saying is that, you know, being in debt is, like, a rich person's problem. You feel me? It's hard to be in debt when you're poor, right? It's hard to be not poor when you're not given a living wage. It's hard to not be poor when you're charged for basic healthcare services and, you know, a rent market that wants to extract every possible penny from you, regardless of where you come from or what you're doing in life. You feel me? So all that I'm saying is that, like, while different people and or entities may want to tell you, and again, not to detract from that, obviously, you want to have good credit so that you can have access to credit so that you can be in debt. You know, that's my point. You know, I mean, again, but like, what bothers me, I guess, is the people that have access to credit and just don't use it. You feel me? Like, I've met so many people in my life that, like, have, you know, like, an exorbitant amount of credit available. And again, I get it. You feel me? Like, I get it. But it's different perspectives, because any working class poor person would, like, do things with that credit card, and again, that's why, typically speaking, banks don't lend out to those people, which is interesting because you want people to move money, so you'd want people to have credit cards, but then, like, you also want to, like, be, appropriate with it and not do predatory lending and stuff like that, which is basically what the kinds of credit cards are available to those people that aren't protected and have exorbitant interest rates. Nobody's going to pay back a credit card bill when the interest is 25%. You feel me? Like, that should be illegal. That's criminal, in my opinion. I'm just saying, but, like, when it's a reasonable amount of interest, anywhere from, like, 6 to even, like, 9% on the, like, high end, like, that's worth it. You feel me? That's a fair trade-off. Even, again, if you end up borrowing more than you can, like, pay back, if interest weren't stupid high, you'd actually be able to still pay that back in good faith, and the credit card companies could still make a little bit of money and everyone's happy. But no, that's not the way it is. They want everything, god damn it, and you should give it to them, including your soul. Here's the contract, sign it right on over to Visa, MasterCard, or any of the other major credit card companies that control the world. So I'm just saying that, like, besides being, born, like, involuntarily, right, with your sovereignty sort of being assigned to you at birth, right, and kind of dystopian stuff, you feel me? You exit where you leave, and then you're slapped with some paperwork, you feel me? It's like, fill this out, buddy, thank you. It's like, okay, cool, so this human being now is not just a sentient person, but it also has a number attached to it, and now it's in a database, and now it is sort of like a commodity. Jesus Christ, what is capitalism doing? Hey, I'm just saying, you feel me? Just saying that, like, at the end of the day, I feel that, like, if you're not in a large amount of debt, you're doing something wrong. And it depends. Again, the debt that you need to be in is the kind of good, healthy debt that people that have the opportunity to be in are most likely in, which is, again, having a maxed out credit card with a reasonable interest, payment due at the end of each month, just so that you can keep that account open and so forth. Again, this is quintessentially the definition of, like, this is definitively, understanding how to be poor, like, how to utilize what resources you do have around you to make sure that you're actually able to benefit from them in life. And so, again, to the people out there that are, like, sitting on a large amount of available credit, and they don't use it or whatever, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you got to spend this stuff. This is, again, like, the whole concept that people hoard money or protect their credit scores to the point to where, like, it becomes almost, like, in and of itself just redundant, like, I mean, Jesus. And what's weird is that what I'm saying is true, because if you do end up maxing out your credit cards, you end up paying the interest only payments on them and stuff, the banks are more apt to give you more money. I mean, I'm not an underwriter here for Bank of America. All I know is that these cats seem to somehow really dig and vibe on the entire notion of debt too, functioning as any sort of commodity would. Now, again, I don't write the rules, not in this made-up Ponzi scheme of life that we call the American capitalist system. I'm just saying that there are ways to play by these rules and for you to benefit tremendously from them. Again, people do it all the time. Like, seriously? You think that those people that have those good jobs or whatever, you think they're actually paying for that stuff? My friend, welcome to the world of privilege and good credit. Again, like, no, they're not. Again, they're not. They're living a functioning life, all while maintaining standard interest payments and still getting bills paid. Like, that's the way the world works, again, and it may not work like that for you, but get in with the program, I mean, Jesus Christ, what are you doing with your life? Don't be like me. But anyways, all that I'm saying is that you should really think about all these things, when, like, you're approaching different instances in your life where you're approached with a large sum of credit available to you, and the impact it may or may not have, later on down the road, and whether or not working your entire life to obtain something that very few people obtain, is worthwhile. I mean, again, like, hoard all you want, be as conservative financially as you'd like. I mean, I just don't know what that 770 credit score is going to get you when you're 65 years old, and you got a few $1,000s available in credit, but a perfect credit score. I mean, underwriters still go based on the very things that you don't have, like capital, and like the availability, like the option to pay it back and stuff. And so, like, again, just don't be backwards in that way. You feel me? Like, enjoy your life. Jesus Christ. You don't want to wait till you're old to start using those credit cards. You feel me? Just again, because then what's the point? I mean, you're not doing anything special. You feel me? You and everyone else's auntie is out here in the American country just trying to save every nickel and dime they can, thinking to themselves that it's somehow going to benefit them in the future, when in fact, we know that in the future our money is worth way less. So again, my friends, like, what is this? What are we doing? You're going to save $1 today so that you can have 30 cents in buying power in 10 years. Again, like, wouldn't you rather just spend that dollar now? Like, would you I'm just saying, like, I do. That's why I'm completely broke and have no potential possibility, of doing better, I guess, financially in my life. Because I simply don't care, But, okay, I'm gonna get out of character here. About 16 minutes into this video, hey, listen, I really appreciate you guys watching my show, honestly. Again, don't listen to me about the whole credit thing or whatever. I think debt is very healthy. You feel me? I think debt is very emblematic of how this country functions. God, baby, it functions on debt. It functions on the idea that the paper money we exchange, which is a fiat currency, has actual meaning. I mean, I would dare say that you'd find more meaning in any sort of church hall on a Sunday afternoon, just because at least there you have to actually go to play your part in the whole scheme, whereas in this instance you kind of just lay back and chill. You feel me? And so what's worse? I don't know. And this is me out of character. I'm just saying that, like, credit is a thing. You feel me? Obviously a lot of us are in debt beyond our ears, beyond our eyeballs. You feel me? And it's with student loan debt, private medical debt. And we didn't even talk about buy now, pay later apps, but, like, use them up. Use up the credit. Again, like, things change in the future, like, we're all just a medical emergency away or a missed student loan payment away from not having access to the very same credit we had access to before just 24 hours ago. You know what I mean? Like, you got to make these decisions quickly, and you have to make them decisively, and you have to be confident in knowing that, like, you're going to have to make that money back one way or another. I mean, again, and that's just the thing, is that, like, I don't understand this about people. And I never will. In my lifetime, things have gone up in price like buku, like stupid. I've been an avid shopper my entire life. And let me tell you that, like, it's gone pretty bad. You feel me? Like, again, coming from somebody that knows how to spend money, like, it's not a good thing. Again, like, things are really expensive. And again, this is like expensive for, like, crap, like, not even good quality stuff is expensive. And that's a problem. And, the economic community at large will continue to sort of fill these things until we decide to, like, actually address the problem, and planned obsolescence should be, like, outright criminal. I mean, I don't, just again, but entire schools of thought are based on this very idea. So, I mean, I don't know. We must be doing something wrong, guys. Clearly, we're doing something wrong. I don't know what it is, but we probably don't know what it is because we're probably not evil people. And that's okay, I thought, but I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. We should probably do what everyone else is doing, maybe. No, we should never do that. I'm just saying that I really appreciate you guys watching my channel and my videos and all these things and listening to my opinion on different things. It means a lot to me, and I hope that you smile at some point and or are reflective of some things that you may or may not have thought of, during the course of the video, and some things that we talk about. At some point in the future, I'd love to have a scripted show. That's kind of another aspiration of mine, is to be able to have a real performative kind of expository presentation for everyone, guided through a script. You feel me? That'd be kind of cool. And that's something, again, we all have hopes and dreams, and I know that you guys out there know I have a ton of them. So I'll continue to do me, you feel me, and advocate for everyone and anyone to just do nothing. This is Albert. My name is Albert, and this was Vlogs About Nothing. I hope that you guys have a really good and safe weekend, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Again, if you're not already a subscriber, smash the subscribe button. So many people watch the video that aren't subscribers, you feel me? But like, I don't know, make the jump. It's a leap of faith, you feel me? Follow your boy here. We're riding. And again, I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thanks so much for everything, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.